Let's start thinking about how advanced civilizations can get. Imagine a world where we use a lot of energy. How powerful can a civilization really be?
It's interesting to think about. The Kardashev Scale shows possibilities beyond what we can do now. For example, a Type 1 civilization can use all energy on its planet. It's like when humans first dreamed of using fire or electricity.
I agree, Guy, but think about this. What happens if civilizations go beyond their planets? A Type 2 civilization would use energy from its whole star. It's like old empires trying to rule the world, but on a cosmic level. Can you imagine the engineering needed for a Dyson Sphere?
These ideas are exciting, but we must think about ethics. What would it cost society to use such power? Could we be lost in our own technology? History shows that unchecked power can lead to downfall.
That's a good point, Sonia. Balancing technology and ethics is important. Our journey is about both technological and moral growth, like the Enlightenment, which valued reason along with scientific progress.
Adding to that, let's remember cultural views. Different cultures have unique ties with resources and technology. Advanced civilizations might show different ways of progress and harmony with nature, maybe challenging our ideas of success.
So, we're discussing both power scales and our values as societies grow. This conversation shows the careful balance between progress and responsibility. Before we end, how might this understanding change our current view on technology? We've looked at how advanced civilizations can get. Let's focus on Earth. Where are we on the Kardashev scale? Are we anywhere near Type 1?
Right now, Earth's energy use is not close to Type 1. We're at about 0.72 on the scale. To be Type 1, we need to use all our planet's energy resources. It's like we're just learning fire compared to modern technology.
Exactly, Guy. Solar, geothermal, and other renewable energy are steps forward. The move to sustainable energy is important, but it's like we're just starting to build a big building. How do we grow this progress without using too many resources?
This change brings up ethical questions too. If we reach Type 1, how do we make sure everyone gets resources fairly? In the past, power in one place led to unfairness. It's like an ecosystem where one species takes over and risks everything. How do we share energy fairly?
Great point, Sonia. Earth is our home. As we get better with technology, we must balance like nature, sharing energy like sunlight and forests. Shifts toward teamwork and sharing are also important.
Building on that, it's important that our global society grows like different plants in a garden. Different cultures might show us new ways to live peacefully with technology and nature. Can we learn from old practices that work with, not against, the Earth?
Absolutely, Ryan. Old practices have much wisdom about living with nature. These traditions valued sustainability long before it was popular. We need this old wisdom for new ideas. Isn't it interesting how old ideas can solve today's problems?
Humanity isn't Type 1 yet, but we're on a path mixing old wisdom with new technology. It's a journey of energy control and ethical growth. How does this shape our view of the future, where energy brings us together and technology helps everyone, not just a few? Let's talk about moving from a Type 1 to a Type 2 civilization. This means using the energy from our star. What new technology and cultural changes would we need for this change?
That's a great point, Michelle. It's like going from skilled workers on Earth to building in space. A Type 2 civilization would make things like Dyson Spheres to capture solar energy. It's like building the pyramids, but in space.
Exactly, Guy. It's like putting together a huge puzzle in space. The engineering is a big challenge, but it's not only technical. We'd need to think differently from limited resources to plenty. Imagine, there might be no more energy wars if we can use star power.
True, Ryan, but we must think about the risks. Such power could cause a lot of destruction if not handled well. History shows power can corrupt. We need wisdom just like advanced technology, like growing a garden and also controlling weeds.
Nice comparison, Sonia. It's like Prometheus giving fire to humans. It's a gift that needs great responsibility. Imagine a culture where we work together, not against each other. We'd need worldwide rules like nature systems to keep balance and fair energy use.
Right. Think about cultural views. Different societies might see such power in special ways. maybe seeing the sun's energy as spiritual, not just useful. Changing to a type 2 could change our global attitude. Could it bring about unity, like when many cultures built international space stations?
I love that idea, Ryan. It's like weaving different cultures into one colorful fabric. What could we learn from indigenous cultures who have always respected nature's resources? Sustainable traditions might guide us to balance technology and spirit.
It's fascinating how moving to Type 2 is more than tech skills, pushing us to change our morals and culture. Could this big step make us better, creating global kindness that matches the universe? Let's explore Type 3 civilizations. They master whole galaxies, using all their energy. What does this mean for them, and what challenges do they face?
Imagine controlling the entire Milky Way. A Type 3 civilization would be like builders of the universe, using star energy like powerful wizards. It's like magic in science.
That's an amazing picture, Guy. Think about politics and working together on planets and star systems. It's not just about technology, but making a galaxy-wide society. It's a huge puzzle of cultures and resources.
Yes, and with power comes responsibility. The ethical questions are huge. Would they protect smaller systems or become rulers? It's like choosing to be a king or a helper.
That reminds me of old empires managing power. A Type 3 civilization's challenge is like balancing conquest and sharing culture, like Rome sharing ideas and technology at a cost.
True. They might need a kind council like in sci-fi's galactic federations. It's interesting how they'd manage long distances and diverse needs. Could they keep making people unique?
What about the philosophical effect? Would people lose meaning in such big systems? Human stories ground us, yet in a galaxy-wide civilization, what's the role of one life except in shared stories?
That's a deep thought, Sonia. Maybe old myths like Icarus teach us to be humble even with power. It's a reminder to balance knowledge with humility.
Yes, myths show the eternal human spirit's quest. They remind us to let wisdom lead technology. As civilizations grow, storytelling stays important to manage technology responsibly.
It's interesting how Type 3 civilizations make us feel both wonder and caution. How do you see humanity joining such a cosmic community, knowing the good and bad in this cosmic dance? As we look at the risks, let's think about the problems with energy advancement. What problems and dangers might civilizations face as they grow?
The biggest problem could be relying too much on technology. Imagine if a Type 2 civilization's energy system fails. It's like a power grid collapse, but much bigger. Such a failure could be hugely damaging.
That makes me think of the risk of too much control in one place. A bigger civilization might have energy controlled by one group. It's like lords in the past having all the power. But here, the risks are massive.
Exactly. The ethical questions are big. It's like handling nuclear weapons now. The more power we have, the more careful we need to be. But what if we're not ready? We could risk disaster.
True, Sonia. We might need universal rules. Like how countries work together on global warming, we'd need universal ethics to share energy fairly.
Plus, using too much energy could harm ecosystems, even across galaxies. Imagine climate change effects, but in whole star systems. Like Earth, a civilization must balance its cosmic impact.
Yes, we must think about different cultural views. Ancient cultures teach balance with nature. These ideas could help guide us in using cosmic energy wisely.
So moving up the Kardashev scale isn't just about technology, it's also about ethics and culture. How might these challenges change our idea of progress? Can future civilizations balance technology with ethical growth? We've explored the Kardashev scale. Now, let's talk about the big questions. As civilizations grow in power, how do they keep purpose and meaning?
That's a deep question, Michelle. As we reach new tech stages, we risk losing basic values. It's like climbing a mountain, seeing a great view, but not knowing what to do next.
Right, Ryan? It's more than just power, it's about using it to make life better. If civilizations get very advanced, will their purpose change or will they feel bored? It's like a hero wondering what to do after a big journey.
Good point, Sonia. I think advanced civilizations might focus on art, philosophy, or finding universal truths. It's like moving from taking land to exploring the human spirit, finding lost ideals.
There's also the idea of connections. Advanced civilizations might find meaning in links across the stars. Imagine a galactic network sharing culture and experiences, creating a richer life.
Definitely, Ryan. It's like a space library where knowledge and wisdom flow free, showing us the value of different experiences and stories. Could such a network change what it means to be part of the universe?
That's a beautiful image, Sonia. Maybe tech will help us connect to a bigger story, but we must keep personal identity strong. It's a balance, like a music composer making sure every instrument is heard.
As we imagine these advanced societies, how do we mix these ideas with our lives now? What lessons can we learn to make life better today? As we finish talking about the Kardashev Scale, let's think about what helps civilizations grow wisely, even with great power. How do they make sure technology helps more than just progress?
I think this is about keeping a sense of wonder and curiosity. Advanced civilizations might really want to understand the universe, like how our thinkers try to understand life. It's like the Renaissance, a time of great curiosity and learning.
Yes, Guy. There's also the joy of working together. Imagine working with others across galaxies. It's like teams today solving world problems. This connection could guide us, bringing unity as we handle big space challenges.
That's inspiring, but we might lose individual voices. As we come together, we must keep diversity like different instruments in a band, each playing unique sounds. How can civilizations keep diversity without becoming the same?
Good point, Sonia. Maybe the answer is to celebrate differences in the big picture, like an ecosystem with different species doing unique things. It's about making a rich mix of life, not one big thing.
And as civilizations grow, they might look for new ways to innovate, maybe by living peacefully with any new smart life they find. Meeting such life with respect and an open mind, like early explorers meeting new cultures, would be important.
And what if they find no other smart life? Would that make them want to understand more, thinking and looking inside themselves, like people searching for personal growth?
It's interesting to think about how advanced societies balance exploration with deep thinking. As we reflect, what lessons can we learn from these future ideas to shape our technology and ethics now? Could these ideas help us find balance in today's fast-changing world?